expand on all three of them. Oops. More slick here. Okay, so there's three expand things. So let's do the first one. Let's do like drums, bass, and then some kind of lead. Drums, a bass, and some kind of lead part. This is gonna be really simple. So first I'll go for drums. I'll just pick drums, and I'll just do a dance kit. See what that sounds like. And just something really simple. I'm gonna quantize mine so that I can have a little more fun with everything. So remember how to do that. We got our click track. Click in the preferences over by the click window. You guys don't have to do a click track and quantize it, but I would recommend it because that's going to be one of the requirements in the final. This project is more about doing an EQ and panning stuff. I'm going to do this just so it'll be more fun to work with. When you start with the click and you get the grid, then you can snap it to the grid and it makes everything just a little more fun.
So the one click track with the boom?
Yeah, or no, so you put on the click track and then you click on output, and then there's expandy for 1, 2, and 3. So I'm going to do expandy on 1, channel 1.
What is it called?
What's that?
What did you say it was called?
The whole project?
No, in the output.
In the what?
Output expand.
Oh, in the output, it's expand 2. So see how I have instrument, like my three tracks in here are instrument 1, instrument 2, and instrument 3. So right now I'm going to do drums on instrument 1. And so when I go over to my click track preferences here, just by clicking on where it says 2 bars, then you go to output, and so see where instrument 1, that's my instrument 1 track.
Okay.
Yeah, so instrument 1 track, and then I'm doing channel 1. So that should lock it in. That's how we did it on the other drum machine. And now, let's see, of course, this is our thing that always seems to happen here. So I think switching stations all the time just freaks the computer out. So let's go back to playback engine. We're on Scarlett. I might have to just quit Pro Tools and restart it again. Yeah, so. And then, yeah, not even the click track is, the click track even is not giving output. So generally, we always turn it off and on again, right? So I'm going to re-get my window back here. It's kind of annoying. Okay. Having one screen's a drag. That's why the extension monitor is over at the desk there. Okay, so there's that. We're back. So, make sure to save. This doesn't happen to you guys as much, but I'm going to just quit Pro Tools and then go back and start it up again because I know I went and checked everything. We can triple check. We're on Scarlett. We're on Scarlett. We are on the Scarlett. We're on the Scarlett. We can even do a MIDI test. There's the little lights going on there. Okay, so let's just start it again. Let's see why the heck this is happening.
Hey, Mr. Shala,
Yes.
what did you name it again? I didn't
EQ and panning. It's right there.
Okay, EQ and panning.
Or you can just say EQ panning.
Okay.
Just so you know they're separate. We're putting two things in one. Okay. Work, you darn thing. This computer, yeah, I have other interfaces at my house and I use other so it's always. Okay, extra bonus points. Why isn't it working? Oh,
I
Did
know.
you turn that off?
Yeah, I saw
The volume knob.
Yeah, we figured that out first.
That was a test.
We all passed. We
I
don't have
was
to do the
I was
final.
when I said he wouldn't turn it on.
See, even me, I'm, okay.
Extra credit to find out why it's up.
Okay. So I'll do a little drum beat. Turn up the input. For some reason, this keyboard, I don't know if it's because it's an old, broken down synth. It doesn't have, I feel like it doesn't have a good attack. Yeah, so I'm going to turn up the level a little bit. That's just me. So I found a little bass and snare. So I'll just record a little drum beat on here. I want to make sure to be on grid, and I want to have a count off. So here we go. Actually, I should make sure the click track it's not going to be too loud. You can change the tempo of your song if you're using the click just by right here. Let's go slower. How about let's just say 95. Then we get a little slower tempo. Yeah, it's a little slower tempo. A little more of that click. Okay, so I'll try to just do a beat, and then I quantize it after. 2, 3. Okay. Oh, I know what I have to do. Okay, so I'm not sure why that's happening. I'm not able to get it. Why? Why do you do this? Oh, it's so stuff has recorded, but it's not going in. Oh, this is that issue we kind of had before, isn't it?
The volume.
Okay, you know what? Let's so because I think we had the output of that. Remember we did the whole busing thing before to make it happen? So let's so the outputs expand. Not sure why that's on here. It was working before. Okay, you know what? Just for the sake of simplicity, I will just nix this click here because I don't want to get into the busing thing right now again. So let's get back. And now I've lost it. I've lost it all.
Yeah, no fun.
Let's do this. When in doubt, I will just delete it and put it back. Boy, this is presenting little problems here, isn't it? Took it off, put it back on, and then we're back. So some stuff I'm not sure the explanation for. So I'll go back to drums. Get that kit again. Oops.
Which one was the key? The
I think I use like Dance Kit.
for you?
Okay, so we'll skip the quantizing stuff for now because I don't want to have it get too bloated, and I definitely want to finish this lecture before. So I think we'll still get a count off, and the tempo still should be. Okay, so here we go. No count off. I'll just start it and I'll just play something. We're losing our quantizing ability here, but that's all right. Okay, so I'll just start it and play something. Okay, somehow it's doing this. I'm not doing anything. This is not my day. Okay, so drum beat. I'll just keep moving along here. It's not going to be the musical, super musical experience. Okay, so drums, bass, and then a lead. So let's just go for any bass sound, fat slap. Kind of a drag to not have the quantizing thing going. Okay, I'll record something else. Okay, not very inspiring, but it'll get the idea across. I'll throw a little lead on there. And again, you can kind of look around. So find something with the word lead in it. Soft leads, hard lead. There's all these ones. Something in the lead category. Go for this one. How about breathing metal? Nope, I'm on the wrong track.
Wait, the second one, which instrument did you use?
I just used, I think it was called Fat Slap.
What instrument? What, can I choose any of them or?
Bass. So I want you to do some kind of drum beat, a bass line, and a lead. So there's three distinctive parts: drums, bass part, and a lead. And I'll throw this lead on there. And I don't know why we're getting so malfunctiony today. Okay. So I'll put this on, just something simple. Okay. A simple little thing. So there we got three parts and they're in mono. So first off, let's see, I'll make sure to disable them. So we got three parts in mono. So one thing maybe to try to do first for the panning, just super easy, simple, but this gets into the idea of the terms like sonic real estate. Sonic real estate. So it's like, who's gonna go where, what's gonna go where? Real estate, right? So you got, I'm gonna put like one instrument to the left a little bit, one instrument to the right. That's one way that we can separate and give stuff its own space. So this gets in the idea of kind of mixing. Like you're putting more stuff together now. If it's all together on top of itself, it takes up room, and you're not really going to hear all your parts. So let's just say I'll leave the drums in the middle, I'll put the bass to the left, and I'll put the lead to the right. So now we kind of got this. Whoever hooked up these speakers got them backwards. All right. So you should clearly hear now, hopefully, the bass will be on the left and the lead will be on the right. Let's just let it play here. It's kind of weird. We got to make sure our monitors are cool. I could have sworn it was switched before. So just getting our left and right straight. Okay, correct. So let's see. It should be over there now. Yeah. Okay, I go right. It's over there, huh? Then you might not, I'm going 100% just to give an example. You might not want to do full 100%, experiment a little bit, but it should give it a little more of a, everything's got its own little zone. Okay? Okay, so the panning, that's kind of the first thing. Super easy, super straight ahead, doesn't take long. Just pan bass to one side and pan the lead to the other side. And then let's get into the EQing. So let's say for this, I want to beef the drums up a little bit. So let's go to, what am I doing? So there we are in our expand on number 1. Let's just put an EQ on the drums. We'll just keep it simple. So, EQ, equalizer. Basically, this is another way to get, I'll put a, let's see, what's this first one look like? Okay, so there's a simple EQ. So you can tell how much of the frequency you want to put more lows in. You pump it up, and then this tells you which frequency you want to affect. So there's two parameters in this: which frequency you want to affect, and how much you want to affect it. So this is another thing of sonic real estate. Let's say the bass drum is super boomy, and the bass guitar is super boomy. They're occupying the same sonic real estate. So you might want to do is, let's say you want your bass drum to be like super subsonic, so you're going to put a lot of lows on your bass drum. Then your bass guitar, maybe you're going to EQ some of those lows off and have more of the low mids higher. So not only are they occupying different spaces on the speakers in the sound field, then they're going to also occupy different spaces of the frequency you got. And this is definitely really important to, like what you say and how you say it are really important. So the content of your musical thing is important, but then how you mix it is everything, right? So if it's like, oh, that track, I like the melody, but man, the lead on it, just the sound is super shrill. Oh, he should have EQ'd the highs down a little bit. Or, man, the track sounds cool, but dude, the bass is super wimpy. Oh, he should have bumped up the EQ, bumped up the bass a little bit. So how something sounds can ruin what the content is, you know? And it's super important. So let's just hear the bass. Hear the drum set. So there's a bunch of lows in there. There's no lows. It's dramatic, right? Now, I'll do what's called a sweep across. So this parameter is your gain. How much lows do you want? Plus or minus. This affects which frequency you want to boost or cut. So watch, I'll sweep across. I'll go from super low, 50 hertz, remember the range of human hearing? 20 to 20. So this goes down to 50, and it goes all the way up to 800 hertz. So a pretty wide range. So let's just hear what that sounds like. I'll boost the lows, and then seem like around 280, you're really hearing a big difference. What's the fattest? Try to get like the fattest on there we can get. Boost the lows right there. So put an EQ on the drums. Experiment around. It doesn't have to be the lows. It could be the highs or the mids or the highs. Let's go for two. Let's go for two EQs. Let's put an EQ on the bass, and I'll leave the lead alone. So let's see. That was that first one. Dude, yeah, never lean a guitar on something. Yeah, never lean a guitar. Always set it on a chair or something. And yeah, if you do bring it over, you're responsible for it. It looks okay. It looks okay.
Whoa.
Yeah. Poor guitars. Nice. Cool. I think it's okay. You okay? They get dinged up. I think it's fine. Yeah, just never lean a guitar up. What's up? You know, what goes up must come down. I would just set it so it's just on something. Cool. I just want to look at this one. So this one's pretty intense. So this one is what's called a parametric EQ. And I'll just talk about it for a second. So same thing, you can affect which frequency you want. See how it's got frequency, gain. So you can tell which frequency you want and how much you want to boost it or cut it. Then there's this other thing, which we'll probably do another project with parametric, called Q. So there's 3 parameters on a parametric EQ. It's like razor surgical precision. You can tell which frequency you want to do, boosting it or cutting it. Then you can also say, well, how much do you want to affect? Like, dude, I only want to boost whatever I'm on right there, 426. That's it. So see how it's all thin? It's only affecting that. You go, I want more of a general low. I'm going to fatten that Q up. So that's a parametric EQ. Maybe for this one we can go for a different thing here. Let's see. Okay, why am I not? Default. What am I missing here? Why is this not letting me delete it? Okay, for some reason I'm not seeing the insert thing for the tracks here. So I'm just going to bypass it. Well, let's add one EQ to the bass. Let's look at this one here, one band mono. What does that look like? Okay, so that's another different style of EQ. Same thing, it's a little more simple. Do this one on the other one. So this one we've got the air, whatever it says, does that say kill? Air kill? Or K3. And then this one we'll put on the one band, EQ3 one band. I think it says channel strip.
EQ3?
I think it says, or no, yeah, EQ3, one band. We'll keep it simple. And then this is pretty cool. So you can do what's called a frequency sweep, and it gives a new effect. Let's see here. We'll make the filter small, and take the soloing off the drums. And so this is the same thing. You've got the filter, which tells the thickness. You can tell which frequency you want to do, and you can tell how much you want to do. I'm putting it pretty extreme right now just to get an idea. So watch, check it out. I'll scoot it over. Remember our effects, the filter, how it made it sound like that? So all it's doing is, on here, I'm doing it manually with an EQ. I'm literally filtering out. So it's like a manual filter. But check out how you can affect that sound. You can also automate this kind of thing too. So watch, let's make it wider. Get a really So you can experiment with those 3 things here. But now I won't move it around, but let's try to get just get the bass to maybe I want to get some high mids in there. We'll go up a little higher and then let the drums be a little fatter. But okay, so 3 tracks, 3 instruments, drums, bass, lead. Panning, I want you to pan something over, give each thing its sonic real estate. Throw an EQ on the drums, that's this one, Air K3 EQ, and then experiment, use your ears and just kind of, like, gosh, what does it sound like if I boost, 110 by 12 dB or something like that, And then put this EQ on the bass, the one band, and you can experiment with a parametric EQ. We'll probably do another whole project on just parametric EQ because it's pretty intense. Like when you really get into like, this is one band, you can have a 7 band, so you're getting all in. What do you want to boost? What do you want to cut? And then talking really about EQing and mixing. So this is sort of an intro to mixing, giving stuff its sonic real estate by panning, and then also just by volumes. I didn't even talk about that. What volumes do you want stuff to be at? That's another thing with mixing. But for now, just do 3 instruments, the panning, and the 2 different EQs. But and experiment a little bit, use your ears. Mixing is just a whole weird art that you just got to do a bunch of times, and testing different mixes. What was that? Some other students had their whole mix, and they were bouncing it out to like their phone, and then they were going out to their car, plugging it into their car. It's like, how does it sound in the car? How does it sound on my computer? How does it sound in earbuds? How does it sound on these speakers? And they were just like, all this trial and error to get this one track to sound good. So it's a whole process to get mixing down. And then you need like sound-treated rooms and stuff like that too. Like this room probably has all kinds of weird. It's not going to be a realistic thing. You got to have a sound-treated room, and these rooms all have corners and stuff. So, but at least a good idea of what's going on. So that's this one, and I think this, hopefully if we can do this one into next week, if we can get done by Wednesday maybe or something like that, we can try to get the big final out, not tomorrow, by next Wednesday. Next Wednesday, yeah. This week's already, I know it's going by fast. Like today, I'm pretty much figuring, what have we got, 5 minutes. So today is pretty much, we use that for the lecture. Yeah, 49, so we're out in 5 minutes. So today is the lecture, and then tomorrow,